The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Johnson, for 5 minutes. Mr. Johnson, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman and Secretary Granholm. Nice to meet you, and thank you for joining us today. You know, I'm very concerned that radical environmentalists are increasingly calling the shots for the Democratic Party, from the White House all the way down to the local level. We're seeing an all-out push to regulate and legislate America's cheap and abundant coal, oil, and natural gas resources out of existence. From the cancellation of the Keystone XL pipeline to some liberal communities declaring their intention to actually turn off the gas lines in their neighborhoods. It's clear that Democrats in office nationwide are following the Biden administration's lead. Here's maybe how you can help, Madam Secretary. As former governor, maybe you could have a talk with the current occupant of the Michigan governor's mansion and convince her to stop trying to shut down the Enbridge Line 5 pipeline, which, if successful, would kill thousands of jobs in my home state of Ohio. Or maybe you could remind her that what you said just last week at the White House is actually true, that in terms of moving fuel, you said, and I quote, "pipe is the best way to go." And I agree, because pipelines safely move vast quantities of oil and gas products safely across the country, including from eastern and southeastern Ohio, a region blessed with an abundance of oil and natural gas reserves, providing thousands of good-paying jobs to the people that I represent. So, Madam Secretary, research shows that the administration's cancellation of the Keystone XL pipeline will actually increase our nation's carbon footprint, an increase equivalent to the emissions of 500,000 more cars. Doesn't this make it obvious that the administration canceled the pipeline because of politics, not for climate benefits?
No. The Department of, well, let me just say this, with respect to the Keystone and the Department of Energy, which is my role here, that we are a cooperating agency.
No, I'm asking you a specific question, Madam Secretary. Did the administration cancel the pipeline because of politics? Because it was clearly not for climate benefits, because it's going to increase it's going to increase carbon emissions.
No, it canceled. I mean, the president made this commitment because he believed that there are other ways to go, especially in promoting clean energy and cheap energy.
But you said that pipe is the cleanest way, the safest way to move fuel. Here's another question then. You'll certainly be advising the president on these matters. Do you think the Biden administration will apply this same approach to other pipelines moving forward?
I can't predict what the administration is going to do, but can I just clarify that what I said regarding the Colonial pipeline was because Colonial is the only way to be able to get gasoline from one place to another along that seaboard, because there aren't deep water ports to be able to allow tankers in.
Well, we can haul it on tankers over the roadway, but I like your statement. I'm on your side. I agree with you that pipe is the best way to move fuel. So I hope you'll stand on that, and that's the way you'll advise the Biden administration. Madam Secretary, are you aware that the Clean Future Act that my Democratic colleagues are touting would essentially ban hydraulic fracturing in new pipelines, because it essentially will shut down the market for petrochemical products? Do you support that banning of hydraulic fracturing in new pipelines?
I am here representing the administration, and the administration has not supported a ban on fracking other than on public lands.
No, I didn't ask you if you're supporting the administration. I asked you, do you support the Clean Future Act that would essentially shut down hydraulic fracturing?
I support the goals of the Clean Future Act, and I don't know the specific provision that you are talking about.
I know, but I'd encourage you to take a look at that, because it's diametrically opposed to what you say is the best way to move fuel. Madam Secretary, months into this administration, we're starting to see their energy agenda taking shape. It involves bringing millions of electric vehicles onto an inadequate energy grid, relying on, as your colleague John Kerry put it, green technology we don't yet have. And most alarmingly, leaving in the ground America's natural resources of oil and gas, all too rich, strict, all to restrict carbon-free goals. When we add all this up, do you believe it's even possible without compromising national security and grid reliability and America's standard of living to accomplish the goals that John Kerry's talking about?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's interesting. Because you seem to have a different view on trans,
Gentlemen,
but that's okay.
time,
I yield back.
the gentleman yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentleman lady